Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Enjoying the sunshine. This weekend's been absolutely beautiful. Um, yeah, tonight's guest we're going to be bringing on is Sarah May. We'll just bring her on for you. Hi, Sarah.
Hiya. Hello, everybody. How are you
How are
doing?
you? Very well,
Good.
thank you. And yourself?
Looks very sunny and bright here, doesn't it? It's my golden
It,
curtain.
oh, is
I'm in.
it?
I'm in
Yeah.
the golden light of heaven here, transmitting from heaven for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was going to say, for everyone that doesn't know who you are and what you do, could you give a little bit of information to people?
Of course. So I've been working as a full-time psychic for probably about 13 years now. But I was born with the gift, and I didn't realise really. I had heavy imagination as a kid. I was quite wild, a bit of a rebel. I was seeing spirit from a very young age, and my mum used to have the tea leaf lady, and I was reading people's teacups in the kitchen from a young age as well. I was predicting things and they were coming true, but I was just like thought it was normal. Things I'd know things in my mind and they'd happen. I'd be like, oh, okay. And I felt scared at home when I was little. I thought there was burglars in the house all the time. And I realised now the burglars were the spirits, because I knew somebody was there, you see. And I used to run from room to room, shut the door and turn the light on, and then I felt safe. So I already had my own mechanism of protecting myself from a really young age. My dad died when I was 14, and my mum when I was 21. And when I was 16, I saw a vision of a little baby in my arms, and I thought I was going to adopt this baby. But when I was 25, I had the baby. And when I looked down, it was like deja vu. I'm like, oh, that's the baby I saw when I was 16, which is my Tommy, who's 30 now. And when Tommy was about 2, I was in bed and I was going to sleep, and the spirit took me over. And what they did, they buzzed in my head and it clicked, and there was like a tunnel and a lady in my head just standing there holding a rose. I pooped myself. I didn't literally poop myself, but I was like, screaming in my head, go away, go away, go away, because it was really physical. And the next day, my sister at the time came around and said, do you want to come to a spiritualist church? And I said, what's that? And she said, oh, just come along. I went, oh, okay, like a sheep. Sat in the front row, and the lady on the stage came to me, and I'm like, oh, God. She told me what had happened to me with the vision and the spirit. And I thought, well, how did she know that? That's really strange. And she said, you've got a gift and you need to develop it. So you need to go to the church to do that. And then the next Tuesday, I joined the development group, and that was it. I was there for 2 years and did everything you could think of in that group. Colours. I've got to be honest with you, I teach mediums myself now, and I don't teach the methods that the church teach. I don't believe in a religion around what we do. I just think I don't think people die. I think they're spirits. Your spirit comes into your physical body and leaves your physical body, so it stays alive. And I teach from experience and not from what other people have told me. It's this or it's that. I've had to experience all along what I'm doing in order for me to understand spirit, and then I feel I'm knowledgeable enough to say it's this or it's that. There's many fallacies that people say about spirit that are wrong. And if you prove it, then you can say that you're right.
Yes.
Like they can't come through. They've got to go and have a rest when they die. They don't need to have a rest when they die, because they're in a different dimension. They're in a free, beautiful, harmonious dimension, not the dimension of the earth, which is us. Human beings are quite, I'm going to say a bit dull. I'm not calling everybody dull, but we don't use everything that we've got, and we're limited in some respects. But when you're in spirit, there's no limits. So
it's like when some people say when they have a near-death experience, they say like there is no time, there's nothing. Sounds quite yeah.
They also say you only use a part of your brain as well, don't they? Is it so much percentage? So there's other parts
I'm learning all the time.
not been explored.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the big argument is a lot of people say everybody's got it, and I don't believe it. I believe that certain people have got that higher intelligence, that little bit more, where they just do it naturally, you know. It's like, if that was the case, everybody could sing. Not everybody can sing. They're not tuned in with that voice that understands the tones. So I just think it's a gift that's given. Certain people have it. Quite a lot of people have it. But I believe everybody else is psychic, and they have those senses, that sixth sense, that intuition, etc. And I'll tell you how I know it. And like I say, it's always from experience. I've tried teaching people who haven't got it, and it's like banging bread on a brick wall. They just don't get it. So
I mean, we're kind of at the stage where we're learning mediumship through meditation. So I've been seeing a lot more than what I used to see over the last couple of months. I've seen so many random spiritual people, which I never used to see before. And I can only put this down to the meditation we've been doing, because we've only started it about 6 months ago. So we're fairly new ourselves, meditation.
Yeah.
I believe it's definitely opened something up.
Yeah. Well, what you've done is meditation, or whichever way you do it, doesn't matter. You've said, we're going to explore this. So you're saying to spirit, right, let's see, come and show me. And that's what they're doing. They're joining in with you, blending with you and working with you. So meditation does help with that. When I teach, I don't bring in guides with the people I'm teaching with, and I tell them not to protect themselves. And a lot of people go, oh, but if you protect yourself, you're stopping it from happening. You only get bits and pieces. Yeah. So you should be able to understand what's coming at you, how you deal with it, whether you keep it or whether you let it go. And if you work with pure love and strength and courage, and you believe in yourself, you're stronger than spirit. Human beings are stronger than spirit, because we can get rid of them easily. Yeah. So they're never going to harm you unless you have fears, and then you harm you with your own fears. So
that's kind of like, I suppose, when it comes to, some people have different opinions on like scratches and markings. Some will say it's your own psychological mind doing it, and then some will say it's actually a negative spirit. And it's kind of,
my daughter recently, she's nearly 18, she had a big welt on her back, and I'm like, oh my God, what's happened? And then she comes in the lounge and she's scratching her leg, and it's literally, she wrote her name in her leg and it's erased, you can see it. And basically what she's got is some kind of allergy. But I'm looking at her, I'm going, it's stigmata. You've got you're the devil. So
I've been on.
Yeah, you've been scratched a few times.
I've been on 2 locations, and I've had, one across my back, which was in the shape of like an angled cross, and the other one was 3 marks going across my back. But I mean,
I've been the witness to all of it, and just seeing it come up, it just gets redder and redder and redder. And you're thinking, I don't know how Jess could have done this, because she hasn't got the longest of nails. She tends to bite them quite often. So I know for a fact she would not have been able to do this herself.
But some of them are like quite thick.
Some were really thick and quite deep. I've been a witness to them, and I can't answer how it's happened.
Bizarre.
I was in a situation once where I was at, the best hunt I've done is Craigenough Castle. Have you done that one?
Yes, we have once.
Yeah. And when I went there, the lady who was running it, I can't remember her name. I went with 2 event companies, and I was the medium. And the lady who was running it said, I should be a bit quiet here, Sarah. Can you up the ante? Can you do something? And I'm like, not really. I don't know what I can do. But I like the EVP. I like it all coming together. I like the EVP. I like the voices coming via. And I like the lights. Everything comes together at once. So when you're a medium, you know the spirit's there. You don't need the equipment. The equipment just backs it up. And basically, the one lady who was with the lady who runs it, I think her dad had come through wishing her happy birthday, or a mom. And then we moved over the other side of the room, and one of the people we'd gone with was sat in a chair and he wouldn't move. And I'm like, get up, what are you doing? He's like, I can't move. And the lady who was running it, I kind of looked, and then we got the voice over the EVP, Bill, I think his name was. And I looked at the lady and I went, somebody's died of cancer, and they smoked too much, far too much, and my name's Bill. And she went, that's Dad. And we got him actually on the EVP talking to her. So I thought, well, you can't up the ante that much, but that whole hunt, it follows you, doesn't it, when you get a good hunt? It goes from, you go somewhere, then you go, and the spirit there is called Robert. And he killed children by feeding them salt. And we went into the cellar. And this is what I always love. Somebody always brings some big bloke as a partner who didn't want to go. Bring your husband. Oh, don't want to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rollers.
There's normally yeah.
You get a few. So this lady had bought a husband. And I was sat in this area. And I was looking at him, he was a big bloke, linking with him, and I was saying to him, I've summoned the spirit. I don't know. No. So I thought, he's not playing ball. These kinds always annoy me. And then we heard pop, 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 and it was a pebble going, tap, 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 and we all looked. We all stood in the doorway. So I thought, I'll get him working, teach him a lesson. So I gave him the lights, what's it called? K2.
That the K2?
K2. I said, you hold that. And as I said it, I looked at him and I said, who's Henry? And the K2 shot out of his hand and smashed up the wall.
Oh, wow.
And he ran away screaming, but he couldn't go anywhere because there was no entry. And I thought, that got you. But the thing is, his name was Robert Henry and the ghost's name was Robert Henry.
Oh.
Don't you find you get synchronicities?
Yeah.
When you hit a point, they react. If you get their name, something happens. And that guy now runs his own ghost hunts.
Wow.
That was him.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've been there once, haven't we? We've done an event there once. It was quite active. I sent something on top of the stairs. They've got the old oak staircase, haven't they? At the top there.
And there's a room
definitely
there.
sent.
In the wall, the soldiers, the beds were still there of when people would go.
That's right. I've seen that. It's quite a smallish room, isn't it?
Nursing, and there was all these beds around, and there's 3 Sarahs in the room, and one had got the Ouija board, and it was spelling out Sarah May, having a go at me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got 30 people in here, and what is this spook doing? And I did get a bit. I was thinking, I'm only a woman. I've got to look after all these people, and the EVP was going, get you. And I suddenly realised anybody that threatens you is frightened of you. So I went, Robert, and he went, yes. I said, you frightened me? Yes. I said, well, bloody get rid of you if you don't sort yourself out. And he calmed down. So this is what I say. Even if you're getting your marks, they're giving you marks, whatever they're doing, they're more scared of you than you are of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that is true.
Yeah, you find there's a lot of fear in people too, isn't there, with the paranormal? When certain things happen.
I think sometimes
I like to face it head on. I like if you get action, I like follow it, not run away from
happening in here. My finger's just started banging in here. My springy thing at the side of me. So we've got spirit with us here now. But there's a lot of rubbish as well. I've never seen a poltergeist. A shadow person, maybe I've seen. There's a lot of scaring people, and fearing them. And for me, the energies are usually spirits that need rescuing. The ones that misbehave are the ones that can take you over. They haven't made it to spirit and they need rescuing, but they can get angry and they can do things. You know, once you understand what it is, why they're there, what they need to do, they could have murdered somebody. I've been places where the person that's been murdered is held and the person that murdered them is held as well. So they're stuck and the one won't let the other one go. So you have to get rid of the murderer and then free the one to go to spirit, and then the murderer can go. There are a lot of people, because that can be quite lively energy. And I've seen it. I've seen it, and they've taken people over, and I've had to get them to leave. You're never scared, because at the end of the day, they're holding on because of their energy. They're stubborn energy. I'm not going anywhere. And you just have to overpower them.
So as a medium, what's it like when you see and hear from a medium's point of view? Because obviously we don't get that sense, do we?
No.
I don't hear. I don't get voices in my ear. No.
Okay.
I get voices in my head.
Right.
So
okay.
in here, somebody will say something in my head, and I call it telepathy. The head, where it comes in the head. I smell things, I taste things, I know things. And they come into me in a semi-trance. So they physically come in while I'm still very aware. And all of a sudden I feel like I've got a heart attack, or my foot's broken, or I can't breathe very well. And I'll say to the spirit, who are you? And I ask them for names. I'm very much evident when I do readings, evident names. Not always the spirit person, but they'll give me names of people around, whoever it is. I get feelings, and you just have to get yourself out of the way. You have to really get yourself out of the way and let it just channel in. And you're the person that gives, and then that person comes back, and you have that communication with the spirit. And it's easy. So I would say the spirit, we're going at this speed here like this, but the spirit are going at this speed. So they've got to come down, and we've got to go up and meet, and then we can connect and talk. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Is it easy to kind of switch on and switch off?
I don't switch on and switch off.
Okay.
I'm lucky, really, because spirit respect me. And when I first started doing it I had my own bookkeeping business. I had a very quick ending of a very big relationship and marriage. It just ended quickly. And one day I'm doing my bookkeeping, and then I'm not doing that anymore. I'm gonna turn full time in the psychic stuff. Had £100 in the bank. I got on a phone line, and my second name isn't May, but they wouldn't let me have the name Sarah. I didn't want to be fluffy unicorns or bobbly baubles. I wanted to just be Sarah. And so I had to quickly think of a name. My mum's Mary, and she was born in May, so I thought May, Sarah May. Ping in my head the minute I got it. And then and that was the start of it. But when I first started, I started doing groups, and I'd give, for my first couple of groups, I gave 50% to charity. When I say charity, I'd physically give the money to somebody who was struggling financially, or, you know, because I wanted to give to them having and benefiting from it. And the spirit literally to me for 2 years. Every time I got it right, tap on the head, tap on the leg. So every tap I gave a bit more, another tap I gave a bit more. And I didn't ask them to do it. I don't think I did, but we don't know what we're saying in our heads. We forget, because this is one thing, but there's another. I might have said to them, help me, and they probably were helping me, and I didn't know. After 2 weeks, it completely stopped. And then I carried on doing what I was doing. And from that, I was taught in the Spiritualist Church to open and close. I didn't do that. From when I started working professionally, I never, ever open close. I haven't opened and closed in how many years I've been doing it. It was in my 20s, and I'm 55 now. And what happens is the spirit respect me. And when I'm working, like if I was going to give you to a reading, they'd just open and start, and they'd finish and go. So, but I always say I'm half in heaven and earth, half in heaven and half on earth. when you work in this, you are invested in it. It's a calling, and it's like drugs. If you don't work your spiritual side, you go flat, and you're like, oh, I don't feel right. So it's something you work, but they very much respect me, and I never pinpoint anything, close and broken it. All very natural, wafting out, and it's been fine for me.
That's good. Yeah, because I know a lot of people say that they're too scared to close down in case they can't open them back up. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
They should believe in themselves. You have to believe in yourself. When I teach my mediums, and I tell you what, I've got a group of mediums I've been teaching for years anyway, on and off. But I've said to all of them, one of them came to me and she used to do ghost hunting. And she came fear-based with me, and she was like this. She was scared. She'd go into trance easily. And I used to say to her, don't protect yourself, Jenny, don't protect yourself, please, love. Just come. And she sat in the group for a while, and then she became so naturally confident within herself and who she was, in a really safe place. And if anything was going to be negative, I'd get rid of it. I'd go in there and get rid of it. But it was more she was worried about it than it was actually happening. Now, sometimes if you're doing mediumship and you get like somebody from spirit, like say somebody's dad comes through and he's shouting and he's angry, right? That's because he's just telling you his personality when he was alive. My dad wasn't shouty and angry, so he wouldn't come through like that. But if somebody comes through me with one of you and he's like, ah, la, 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 swearing and angry, do you know what I mean? Somebody might, who's doing the mediumship, think, oh my God, that's a bad spirit, I'm really scared. And it actually isn't. It's just the personality of the person that was on the earth plane. So they're bringing their personalities through. And once you prove the personality, then they start talking and they stop shouting and screaming. But I have a word with them and I'm like, I'm not saying that, sort yourself out. Get me something else to say and I'll say it. So I argue with them sometimes.
That's what I was going to ask you was, have you ever been scared whilst you've been working, like from the spiritual side? Have they ever scared you at all?
Never. It scares me when other people don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, look, some people are like drama queens or kings when they're doing it. And like, oh, that's too painful, take it away. Get over yourself. It's only a spirit coming in your body. You're still there. If I feel like my leg's dropped off and it's still there, my leg hasn't dropped off, has it? So you've got to be practical, and you've got to keep your cool with it as well. But also, it's so much fun. It's the best thing in the world. And the emotion that comes through, I mean, I've read for a girl today, her dad came through going on about the Werthers. Somebody's got the packet of Werthers and they haven't eaten them in his memory. And her mum ordered a packet of Werthers and hasn't eaten them. And him in the spirit world, he's saying, tell her the factory's not gone bust. They're still going to make them. So if she wants to eat that packet of Werthers, she can have some more if she wants to.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And that was just a packet of toffees. And she's like, oh, you make so many people cry. But you've done a good job when you do that. So, but I do feel guilty sometimes. Like, oh, God, go on.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's been your most kind of memorable reading? Just that one that stands out for you?
There's a few. I go through storylines with people. Okay. One was, it started off, 3 ladies came and sat in front of me, and I didn't have any paper for them to write, because I tell people to write it down. In those days, write it down, but now you record it. And couldn't find any paper anyway. It was a hairdresser's. I was working upstairs. Even the diary was full. So then I get a kick in my shin from the spirit, and I'm like, oh, great. I've got these ladies sitting in front of me. And I looked at them and I said, who's Mark? And they just went, oh, and I'm like, oh, God, that's him then. The reason why there wasn't a piece of paper is because when we'd gone through the reading, in the bag was a suicide note. We got it out. A piece came off the blind behind me, sheared off, flew and landed on the floor by the lady, a piece of plastic. And she picked it up. I said, let me look at it. And it was in the shape of either an L or a V, Well, she was Lynn, which is his mum, and the daughter was Vicky. And that's what I realised it was. Now, Mark had committed suicide in Vincent Green Prison, owed money for fags. And he'd hung, this isn't nice, but this is what you get. He'd hung himself, and the staff weren't trained. The staff that were there weren't trained. However, the prisoners were. They wouldn't let prisoners attend to him. He ended up in hospital and he passed. So there's an inquest. So the whole family through for the 2 years of the inquest. And there was things like where was his there was so many things of his missing, and I gave them the name of the box where it was, and it was Rose Road, Harborne, the police station there. That's where it was found. He told me lots of things along the way, but he was an absolute bugger. His sister used to scream because of things I used to say, and I used to argue with him saying, I'm not saying it. The one day he said to me, tell my mum Dracula teeth. I said, I'm not doing that, Mark. I am not doing it. No. Go on, tell her. He was egging me on. Oh, and I looked at her and I went, Dracula teeth. Of course, she smiles and there's these two fangs. And I'm like, oh, you bugger. What happened? She was 52, this lady. She used to write it all down. She went to the dentist's and she got a plate there. Right, that was the plate. And the dentist took the plate off and he said to her, you've got a Dracula tooth growing in your gum. One sharp tooth growing in her gum at the age of 52. And she took a picture and she sent it to me. So, and at his trial, he said to me, there'll be 9 on the jury. One of them's a big bloke and he's going to wear a Birmingham City football T-shirt. And Mark was a Birmingham City football fan. And there he was with the T-shirt. So I went to the trial. And it was down as accidental death. And the judge was in tears and he said to the mum, anything you want me to put on record? And she said, I'd like all the prison officers trained in, you know, what's it called? First aid. That was that. I don't know how long later I was invited to do some readings at somebody's house and I walked in. I didn't have long because I didn't have a babysitter for my kids, and I sat down and I looked at the girl and I said, have you just been on a training course for first aid? And she said, yes. And I said, I hope you don't mind, but I have Mark with me now. And you attended him in prison. And she said, I do remember. I said, he hasn't got any problems with you at all. But can I just ask you something? Have any of the other? She said, they've all gone on one. So then I could phone Lynn and say, Lynn, they've all had the first aid training. But I found out by doing readings. So that's just one story. And there are others where somebody else's son, Liam, I could go on forever. There's another one that's with me regularly with his mum as well. And his mum's in a really good place now. And there's so many stories like that. Not all of them. You know, I've done thousands of readings, but the journeys I go on with the people aren't just one reading. It's their stories and their life. And the spirit won't leave you. They grow with you. We just have to learn to live without them. So yeah, that's the one. But there's a few others I could tell you. You'd be here all night, honestly.
Do you find, like, when you're out and about, you pick up on all different energies as well?
I don't like big crowds. It makes me feel sick, unless I'm doing an audience and I'm full line because I'm working on purpose, but not really. I always found when I was in the laundrette, if the washing machine had ever broken, I'd sit and I'd pick loads up in laundrettes. One lady, I named all of her brothers in order and their names in age order. And her son and daughter were in spirit. And I don't know what it is. I think it's the whirling of the washing machines. It's that. And maybe that's like they say ironing brings it in. Try the ironing with you, and painting. It's that movement, but slow and consistent. So, but I don't really. I mean, I went out last night, and people find out what I do, and there's only a few of them in the garden, but it's either over me and they sit next to me, and I'm interested, and I'm like, oh, I'm not working. Could you raise that?
So I think you could just block it out then and just ignore it.
I let it go. If I look at somebody and I think, oh, you look a bit grey, you need a bit of healing, I'll send some healing. I just let the healing go and I send it. And I'm a Reiki master as well. And they do say you should ask permission, but I never ask permission. Who's going to say no to some healing unless they're an idiot?
True.
I don't want healing, thank you.
Yeah.
And if they do say no, it will go up into the energy. It will go where it's needed. So we come from love. We're empaths. Mediums are healers. We're healers. That's what we're here
See,
for.
I was told not so long ago to paint what I'm seeing. I'm not very good at drawing, if I'm honest. But everything I'm seeing, to write it down, paint it, see if I can draw what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I would struggle with that. I don't think I could.
No, you wouldn't, because you're channeling. It's called automatic writing. So your pen will move. Put your pen to the paper and it'll move.
Jess has done that one, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's automatic writing. I could probably, if I channeled, write you a poem in less than 2 minutes. Like that. Do it all the time. If you see a poem on my Facebook, it's usually because somebody's racked me off. You know, a lot of people put on.
Keep an eye on that one.
They've done this and they've done that. And I'm like, right, I'll just write a poem. And everybody goes, isn't that lovely? And I'm like, I've vented and you don't understand why. So the automatic writing, but the psychic art, which is what you would be doing, and that's just allow the paintbrush. And what you do is you think you're going to paint something, and in your mind, I'm painting this. When you look at it, you've painted something else, and that's fine. That's fine.
I know going back probably about a year ago, Jess did automatic writing. She wasn't even aware she was doing it. She started writing down all this information, and the information was all about, because it was done in a prison called Chapter Mallet Prison. We were on a night there, and Jess started going down a wing on her own, and she was told just to write down what we're getting through the ovilus at the time. But then she started writing like pages and pages of information about the prisoner, about what happened to him in a car that involved drugs. And I'm thinking, where did all this come from? I've never seen Jess do this before. And you're in your own little world, and I couldn't get her out of it.
I think Gary Fields told me to stop.
Yeah, I think Gary Fields commented at the time on the live, because we were streaming live, and said you need to stop, Jess, because obviously she can't continue doing this. And I had to take her outside. And little did I know, she started continuing on her mobile phone, because I took the pen off her. She started continuing on your phone. She just kept saying, I need to get the story told.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what she needed to do, you know, to get it out there, because that spirit wasn't going to give up until you'd done it. And you were the voice for the spirit, which is
I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah, it was quite scary to watch. It was very scary, because I wasn't used to, I've never seen Jess do this anyway. And we've been going to that prison for like 3 years. We've never had any kind of full-on information that Jess was writing down, and I was thinking, how are you getting this information? Where's it coming from? And then it got me intrigued.
They recognise something in you. Yeah, they recognise something in you. So the spirit will look at somebody, like you'll go into a room and you get nothing, and then another group goes into the room and they get something, and it's because the spirit sees something in one of the people that they recognise, and then they communicate. I mean, we've done the table turning, the levitating. I've had tables dancing around rooms, literally. And it would only do it for the girls on the table. Once a man put his finger on the table wouldn't move. And you have to work out what it is. Yeah. And also I do a lot of seances, but I don't use the Ouija. I use, and you could use this, alphabet letters. So Scrabble letters. So I've got loads of old Scrabble things from the secondhand shop. Washed all the letters, and you get the glass to move, and it spells out, and it takes the letters to the people. Brilliant.
Oh, okay.
When I was younger,
really good.
I was about 10, and me and my friend, we wrote the alphabet on a piece of paper, and we cut them all out, and we were doing that when I was younger.
People do say you mustn't use Ouija boards, you mustn't do this, you know. But the Ouija board, all you do is you open it up. If you're ever going to use a Ouija board out there, put a golden rod through it in your mind, a golden rod through the Ouija board, open it up, okay? They play, the Ouija board you don't always get the truth with, I'll be honest with you, because the energy isn't brilliant with Ouija boards. But you turn it over, put your hand on it, and you say close, and it closes it off. It's like it opens up a vortex.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've
got to close it
experienced
off. You've got to turn it over.
Probably
and close it.
3 times we've experienced. I mean, we've done the board quite often. Only on those 3 occasions have we experienced negativity with it, and it's partly due to the people that were using it at the time with us.
Yeah.
So now we don't use it unless it's with people we actually trust. I've seen it go wrong 3 times. Like going backwards through the alphabet. Also going figure of 8, kept going non-stop figure of 8. The
it's
noise, we had a lot of noises behind us. The K2 was going off. I was hearing noises. It was spelling out all sorts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It went to spell ZOZO. I closed the board down. I said, this is not the group we were with. Wanted to sort of, I guess, summon up something,
riling it up,
trying to really rile it up, and I thought this isn't good. It's got to be closed.
You don't
so
do that
I
with
just
spirit. You have to be respectful with spirit. Unless they're disrespectful with you, then I'll have a go at them. If they're going to be disrespectful with me, I'll sort them out. But be nice to them.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in being nice, but what you put in, you get back. And you know, tell their story. That's what they're wanting. They want their story told. They're not there to be your entertainment.
Exactly.
They love
how
music
we've always
as well.
gone about it. Yeah,
I've
we've
often
tried that
put music on, got the glass, and they dance. The glasses dance, and then it's so beautiful when you've got an old couple in the spirit world that come through the glasses and put a bit of music on. And they're dancing, and like it's so lovely.
It's nice.
I went to one place, and we were lad in the lane in Birmingham. We were in the kitchen, and it was all women in the kitchen, and we got the glass going because it wasn't good for me, that the energy in that pub. It was a bit blocked off, but she was going all round. She was baking a cake with us. Making a cake like a square, and then doing all the icing like this. It's like we were the cooks with the glass. So that was really interesting. It's like you're baking a cake with this lady in the kitchen.
Oh.
Wow.
It's like Gary just said, it's better working with like-minded people, and it's true.
It is.
It is true.
You've got your lower energies where people will gravitate to. You've got your higher energies where people will gravitate to. I just like lovely people. I love lovely people, and you bring in your tribe, those that are on the same level as you. No competition, no one-upmanship. Everybody's there to just to enjoy.
Seems to be too much of that these days, isn't there? There's a lot of one-upmanship in the paranormal
I've had it
at the moment.
all through my career. It's in the mediumship as well. It's very cliquey, and you get people watching. If you've either got it or you haven't got it, you can't make it happen. You know, even if you definitely try, you won't make it happen.
Yeah, and we're all doing, depending on what sector you're in, we're all doing the same, so we should all help each other, and
providing somebody's got your back. I'm quite harsh, and I'm feisty. I can be feisty as well, because I've had to be. You've got to fight. Sometimes when you're spiritual, people think you just got to lie down and be walked all over because you're strong enough and you can take it. But I will say to my lot, nah, get the warrior fist out and punch out that, and not physically. Don't put up with anybody or tolerate or make excuses for anybody that's doing you wrong or harm or saying something nasty. Zero tolerance, block them. And again, when you're spiritual and you're empathic, you feel guilty about that. But what you've got to look at is you've got to be practical with your energy.
Exactly.
So
always bring in.
We've got a mutual friend, haven't we? Yeah. I mean, we've got a mutual friend, Barry John. He's just a beautiful, lovely bloke.
He's lovely.
Harm anybody.
He's a real nice gentleman.
He's good at what he does. And that's what the energy, that's where I align. somebody who we rarely talk about spiritual stuff. We just moan and joke and laugh.
I think if you did, you would bounce off each other. You know, that would be, if you did.
Well, I'd like to work with him, definitely. We have been talking about it. Yeah. And it's not often, because I've fell out with so many in the past who just, you know, you can't apologise for what you do. And I won't stop myself, because Spirit told me through something trance, but loads of people fall out with you, Sarah, family, friends, da-di-da-di-da, just carry on and follow the light. And that's what I do. I follow that light. And if you come along and you're lovely to me, I'll love you forever. But if you're not, I'm going without you. See ya.
Exactly. That's true.
So you do tours, don't you? When you can. Whereabouts is your next tour?
I do lots of locals. I used to tour. I tell you, there's a guy I work with who I've got a radio show on a Saturday. He's on this Saturday. Solihullradio.com. And Robin Lown is your brilliant master palmist. I don't think he's watching this. Because he's a bit of a dinosaur. He's going to love me for saying that. But I'll get your hands. I'll get a copy of both of your hands, and we'll get your hands done with Robin. Okay. So you listen to the radio on Saturday. We'll do that. And so I used to tour with groups doing stage psychic fairs, and I've done a lot of television. I do television now. I do the MBS's, Mind Body Spirits, for Crystal Psychics, and I do Birmingham and Olympia, which now will be in 2022. And I usually do the stage there for them. They've asked me the last few times to do the stage. And so do a lot of going around the pubs, you know, a bit like an entertainer. So a pub will book me and I'll go and do the evening and then come home. But I've got so used to doing everything online now. I teach online, I do most things online, that 2 years ago I did 20,000 miles in my little car. And that's a lot in 1 year. That was I was on television, go to the studio, travelling. I get asked to go places. So most of the work I do, I'm asked to do it. I don't put myself out there. I don't have my own page on Facebook, but I do work for Mystic Call on a Monday and Derek Akora's page for his wife, Gwen. So Gwen, I do Tuesday nights and Fridays on that page. So I do lives on there. That's a big audience, that is. Massive audience. And I do the mediumship, just the mediumship with no cards, linking with the people who come and ask the questions on the live. You train yourself. If you want to be good at what you do, you've got to put yourself out there and not be frightened to do it. And that's the true trust in spirit. If you trust in spirit, they've got your back.
Yeah.
That's what we found with doing all these interviews. Going back 6 months ago or so, we would not have done this. Because again, it's a confidence thing. But since doing it, we've noticed a change in ourselves, becoming a bit more confident with the chats, with the talks. Meeting new people is lovely. It's really, really nice, and thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, you deserve it, and you love the paranormal. So I was asked to do a ghost hunt, right? I did a show in Leicester for two guys, Tony Poor and Justin White, who had a company then, and it was an audience, right? And the next day, touched me and said, "Justin can't make a ghost hunt. Can you come and help me?" And I went, "Please, Sarah, I'm not doing it." Why not? I said, it's just taking the mickey out of what I do, ghost hunting. It's not me. And I even said, Derek Akora, but it's not my thing. No, I'm not doing it. Please, Sarah, we've fully booked Groupon, 40 people each show, an early one and an evening one. And I went, how much? And he said, 75 quid. 75 quid. Oh, go on then. So I went along and I was hooked. Again, some woman had bought her husband and he didn't want to be there. The spirit kicked him. He was. That's what I love it when they scream. when you've got a group of people and they scream their heads off, it's just therapy. It's like, I laugh so much. And people can come up to me and say, this has happened and that. And I just laugh. I find it really funny. So that's what got me hooked on the ghost hunting. And then I started working with them, and they were paying me to go and travel with them. And we did really well. But unfortunately, it went pear-shaped. You get somebody come in and cause a bit of trouble, and it's usually a bit of jealousy. And with me, I'm off. Not it. Can't enjoy it anymore. It's not fun anymore. So I try and do them on my own, or I'm a guest. I've been a guest for a few.
Yeah, I was just going to say, were you a guest medium on a few paranormal events, weren't you?
Yeah. I've been guest medium on a few paranormal events. And I love it. And I think the thing is with the medium, I mean, I've got to say, Tony Paul, I've got a lot of respect for. He's Leicester Paranormal and he's doing other stuff as well, but he takes it seriously. And he gets really annoyed where people mess about. But also, he's obviously a medium or something because spirits come to him. And we were in a Masonic lodge once and we had we could play things out, don't you? He was standing in the corner and he became this person. And it's like acting something out with the spirits. But I've got a lot of respect for him. And his EVP work is the best I've seen. He's got an Olympia, I think, or he used to have. So I respect him and I love working with people that I respect because I know they've got your back. They're serious about what they're doing. And they're the intentions are good. So
Getting good, you get good.
Yeah, you do. I'm a firm believer in that. If you turn up at a location in a positive frame of mind, you'll get a positive night. You'll get a really good night. If you go in there in a negative mind, no.
Yeah. But if any of them play up, or if I do get a negative one, I make them work with me. So if you've got a skeptic or you've got an idiot who's had a few drinks and I'm like, right, come here.
I've seen a few of those. Yeah. I use them as bait.
And then when they get that's it. It's people.
If you wouldn't mind, would you mind doing any readings?
I can do.
Can you see any comments, or would you like us to pick people randomly? Or
it's whizzing past.
Okay.
I can't see. You can see me squinting my eyes, can't you? I should have some glasses on, shouldn't I? Probably best to read them out to me.
Okay.
Can't see the comments in the chat thing.
Well, let's get everybody comment in if you'd like a reading from Sarah, and then we'll put a few up and see who Sarah's drawn to, I reckon.
Ask a question, ask me questions, make me work.
That's it.
There you go. Make Sarah work.
Trigger me.
So, just whilst they're doing that, is there anything else you wanted to promote at the moment? Or?
Do you know, I just get on with it. I do my stuff. People follow me. For me, I'll just go and do whatever I'm doing.
Okay.
If you want to book readings with me, then Facebook, I'm so lively on Facebook. I haven't got a page. It's my profile. So you can always message me on Facebook, Sarah May. Don't go on any of my pages because I don't see the messages on there. But mediumsarah.com is my website. You can get messages that way. My phone number's all over the place. So if you want to band it around, that's fine. I've had that same phone number for years. And, people, I get a lot of recommendations with the readings. So if anybody wants to read, wants to come join a teaching group, anything like that, let me know. That's it. You'll find me on Psychic today. I've got a show there tomorrow, 10 till 12.
Is that Sky Channel? Trying to think what it's called.
Same one
I
as
have
Barry.
been on there before. Same one as Barry, isn't it?
Today.
Sky.
Can't
think of the actual channel number. Oh, 680. That's it.
Sassy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And then I've got a live on Mystical Facebook at 3.
Okay.
I've gone there for 30 minutes. I don't do lives on my own page. I get paid to do lives wherever I go. So that's the way I do it, and I'm loyal to whoever I'm working with as well. I like to box things rather than just spread myself out everywhere.
So we got a few coming in. Can you see the comments when I put them up on the screen?
It's too far away. Is that Kelly somebody?
Kelly Shepherd.
Yeah.
Is that the Kelly Shepherd that I've read for Derek Akora's page? What's she asking?
She just said she would love a reading.
Would love a little reading.
Okay, Kelly. Energy I'm picking up with you, sweetheart, is teeth. So my gums feel really numb here. So I'm wondering if you go into the dentist, or whether I'm connected with somebody in the spirit world who had a problem with their teeth. But I want to say gummy. I feel really gummy with this. And I do feel there's a gentleman in the spirit world connecting with you. I don't know whether his name's David, but he's talking about David, if you could understand the name David, because that's what he's saying to me. He's giving me number 72, and somebody's had a problem with their car. So I feel like I'm going to go and drive my car. I don't know if this is going to happen over the next couple of weeks, so just be mindful. And then all of a sudden, I'm not in the car. I've had to get on the bus. So he's telling me about something to do with the starter motor in a small black car. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Kelly.
Saying yes to that one.
That's good.
That definitely makes sense. Who have we got next?
And we have Diana Neal said she'd love a reading if you feel drawn to her.
Diana Neal, headache coming over here. Headache coming over here and around the back of the eye here. Okay. Possibly somebody who has migraines, because often migraines come along the one side. I don't know, I didn't even know this, and around the back of that eye. So I do feel something with the eye. I'm not going to scare you with this. I'm not worrying anybody, because it's already something that you know about. I don't know if it's you, or whether, again, it is somebody in the spirit world here that's connecting in with me. The person in the spirit world would be a lady, and she's given me the 17th of May. Telling me to tell you the 17th of May. Now, this is an anniversary that you can't think of. It's something coming up for you. But she's also shown me a black pen, a really black posh pen that comes out of a box with the letter J on it. Letter J on this box with the pen. Could probably belong to a male energy, I feel, but she's signing a contract here with you, and it's forward slanted writing, and it's a lot of small print on this contract here. I don't know what it is. You're getting a new phone. It might be a new phone, something to do with, do you need a new phone? Have you been moaning about your phone? The feeling I'm getting with this is, you deserve good things. Don't be putting up with it'll do, because you've worked hard. And most of us, we've gone through a pandemic here, haven't we? And we've realised, we're going through the pandemic, how we've limited ourselves in so many ways. So many people limited themselves in life before the pandemic came in. And then the pandemic's come in now, and it's almost like, let's not go back to that same way of thinking. Let's go into the thinking of, we can have what we want, we can make it happen. And that's what she's saying to you, sweetheart. And she's giving me the name Sue or Susan. So Sue or Susan is either around you or connected with her. There you go, lovely.
Diana said, that makes sense. And she knows who you're talking about.
Oh.
Going back to Kelly Shepherd, she said, David is her granddad's son, and she has worries about her car, and it's navy.
Oh, it's navy, not quite there. But yeah, there's something with the starter motor there, Kelly. So I don't know whether you're with the RAC or the AA, but it'll get sorted. That's cars for you.
Cars can be a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. Well, we have to maintain them, and they break down, don't they? And mine had a service a few months ago. I can't believe I didn't need new tyres. Can you believe that? I'd done over 20,000 miles in my car and it didn't need new tyres. I should, Sarah, but you shouldn't moan about it, but we do need to do whatever, we need to do with them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, some more than others that need a lot more done.
Indigo's also said she had the pleasure of working for Psychic TV with you. Yeah.
Hello, Indigo, gorgeous. I remember you. And we did a bit of meditation. I think Indigo was there when we actually could do the mediumship, because we were going Facebook Live. Because on Psychic Today, you're not allowed. There's so many things you can't do. You can't say. You can't talk about fertility, loads of things you can't talk about, which are all the things I do in my work. And I know Indigo had come at that point where we were going on Facebook, we're allowed to do mediumship, which was like, yeah, brilliant. Hi, Indigo.
Yeah, she's lovely, Indigo. She'd done a show on here actually on the Keep on Chatting network a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
She's lovely. She also done me a reading as well. The reading, that was the one that actually told me about the painting. To actually draw what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah,
it was
but like
very
I
impressive.
say, you might see something. Was it? You might not see. You might not draw what you see, but still carry on seeing. But when you look down at what you're drawing, it will definitely make sense to you.
Okay. So I can kind of see them. When I see them, I it doesn't seem like they interact with you or can see you. It's more like they're going about their own business. So, and it's only for a split second, and I could be driving down the road, and then I see someone at the side of the road, and then all of a sudden it just vanishes. And I've seen probably about three women and 2 men so far, and on 2 occasions, Jess has seen it with me. So I know I'm not going mad or anything. But I physically slow down because I think they're going across the road, and then I stop, and
You'll be
there's
careful.
no one there. I know it's scary.
Yeah.
But I can describe them too. That's the word. I mean, I actually describe what they're wearing. I remember them. Yeah.
The imprint. It's an imprint.
It is.
But when you're doing your mediumship, it doesn't just come to you. You have to work it. It's like being a nosy neighbour. You have to talk to them to get the energy going.
Yeah. So one more.
Another one. Leslie Dunn would love to know if her mum is okay in spirit.
Did your mum have allergies, or do you have allergies? Because as I'm connecting with her and you've mentioned her, it's like I go, achoo, but it feels like it's coming from here. Do you know what I mean? I'm wondering if she was sneezing before she passed to spirit, or whether she had these allergies, but I don't feel it's hay fever here. It might be a certain perfume or perfumes. Some people are allergic to things. She's talking about me or you, but this is very much coming across here. She also shows me a red bag here, this red bag, and she's saying to me, it's like an old-fashioned bag with the clip clasp, and you open it up, and she's telling me there's 50 quid in that bag. I don't know whether she passed, she'd left some money somewhere and somebody found the 50 quid, but she's mithering about the bag. So I don't know whether you've got this bag or whether this is a memory with you, love. But that's what she's saying. There's 50 quid in that bag. There's 50 quid in that bag. Don't waste money. And also she gives me the name Philip here, Phil or Philip here. And she's a lovely energy. She's quite a strong-minded lady. But also very good-looking lady as well, I feel. Really good-looking. Tell you who she looks like, and I'm hoping I've got this right, but I can see Mary Berry. So either she looks like Mary Berry or she's joking about your cooking, I don't know, cake making. But I can see Mary Berry in my head here for one reason or another. So does Mary or Berry mean anything to you, or the cooking, the cakes, etc.? I could go on forever with this lady because she's a real sort. I want to say she's a real sort, and I feel she's very charismatic as well. And is she okay? She's absolutely fine. She'd be more worried about you than you are about her. Not that she needs to be, But there you go. And the song I've got is Peggy Sue, Pretty, 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 Pretty Peggy Sue, which is Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly. She's shown me Buddy Holly the glasses. I can see him vividly. There we go.
Leslie said she did, which is, I'm presuming, to the allergies or the sneezing.
Yeah.
And she can take the bag because her sister has the bag.
Oh, is there 50 quid in it? £50 is coming somewhere.
Oh, and her sister is called Sue.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So that all ties in.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
You see, I like my evidential mediumship.
Yeah. We got one more, I think.
Cool. It's Lauren.
Lauren Badrock said, would love a little reading if you feel drawn. Thank you.
Bit of heartache around you, Lauren, sweetheart. When I feel your energy, I feel somebody's upset you. There's a few tears there, darling. Okay. And I kind of feel you've been hurt by somebody who really shouldn't have done it, you know. Jack has mentioned around you here, Lauren. I need to give you the name Jack. But also with you, I just want to lift you up and hug you and tell you you're so beautiful that you mustn't hold on to that same memory or that same person, that you need to get past it if you can. Okay. There's a cold energy coming around my right hand side with you, and I wonder if you're feeling this yourself now, because this is spirit really standing beside you and giving you that strong arm of strength and saying to you, you really are going to soar. And there's so much about you that's going to happen in August. And there's an anniversary in August. They get the 14th of August. And I feel around this time, this is a memory for you. But August is where everything is kicking off for you. And I just want to give you the confidence to say, you will succeed. Trust me, sweet, you will succeed and you will do really well. And be very prudent of who comes around you and how they treat you. Never, ever put up with anybody knocking you ever again. It's really important. There's a Gemini energy here. Are you Gemini? I don't know if you're sensitive. We've got Gemini. I've got a very beautiful girl here when I look at you. And the lady in the spirit world is praying. So she would have been possibly Catholic. Takes her necklace off and puts it on you. Puts this necklace on you. And a lot of green. She's giving me a lot of green here. So you must be into your crystals. And I would definitely... your green is your creative crystals. Green quartz is creative. So she's surrounding you with these. She's putting them around you, around your feet here like a circle. And she's just she's just saying she's beautiful. She's beautiful. What's your name? Who's Margaret? I've got the name Margaret. It might be her, or it could be somebody around, but she's just said Margaret to me. Give that in and believe in yourself.
No, that's lovely. Lovely.
Fantastic.
I think that's everyone.
So, you did a reading, didn't you, for Michael Barrymore, didn't you? On air.
Yeah, I did.
How was that one?
Do you know what? I was working on the big city radio. I was asked to go and do it. And I walked in and he went, look at you. There was fluffy microphones in my face, so it's videoed. Mm-hmm. It's in the archive somewhere. Radio stations are usually small. The one I'm working at now is a big one. And he greeted me and he said, he gave me a seat. He was such a gentleman. He was really tired at the time as well. He'd only been done 2 weeks before. He'd been pulled up by the cops with drugs in his car, which was in the news. I got a little dog called Dave. It's a little dog. And I was more... I loved the dog. He was going, you like Dave more than me. But I did do a reading on air for him, and I picked up that he had something that was given to him from America, and he had it under his pillow. And he went, I do. He said, it's a Dolce & Gabbana chain. And he said, I do. I have it under my pillow. And also I said to him, I've got the Lady Jane. And he said, well, that's interesting because when you work for, I can't remember if it was BBC or ITV, he said, you're hired or fired on the Lady Jane. And what the Lady Jane is, it's a yacht on the Thames. So you go on and you've either got a job or you haven't got a job. So I gave him quite a lot, but not all of it was broadcasted. But lovely energy, lovely guy. And everybody was knocking him, you know, when I put it on Facebook, he's this, he's that. Actually, no, he's such a lovely guy. They said he was drunk, and he wasn't. He was just tired.
So was he expecting the reading, or was it just a complete shock for him?
No, he was doing the radio show that day.
Okay.
And he knew I was coming in, and I sat with him and we broadcasted it.
Okay. Wow. Have you done many famous people and like any other famous people?
Stevie Ritchie, a good pal of mine, predicted he was going to be on television presenting, and he ended up presenting on Psychic Today. And that day where he was doing it, I didn't know he was until it was advertised. I was on. He messaged me and said, "I'm on Psychic Today." I said, "I'm not on that show. That's a shame." It was on the 18th of something, and I was in on the 16th. On that morning, but I'd forgotten about this. The producer said, "Somebody's pulled out. Can you come do the show?" So I turned up to the studio, walked in, and there was Stevie Ritchie. I said, "I actually said you were going to be presenting a show," and I was part of it. So that's this lovely guy. I've done a few famous footballers' wives, and from one of those, I ended up doing Tony, the one that sang "Is This the Way to Amarillo?"
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Tony Christie.
Christie, that's it.
Tony Christie. I've been to his house. To do some readings. I originally was reading for his wife Sue at Gordon Cowan's house, who was a Villa and an England player. And she was sat in front of me. She'll tell you who I am. No, don't tell me who you are. No. And I knew her name was Sue. And I was going, "Who's Marie?" And she was going, "That's interesting." And then I said to her, "I've got the colour purple." And it broke then. She said, "My husband's Tony Christie. In the song, Is This the Way to Amarillo with Sweet Marie, who waits for me? That's my daughter." Mm-hmm. And the colour purple is Mickey Most, who's in Spirit, was one of these big record people. And whenever a record was a hit, Mickey Most always used to say, "That's the colour purple." So he'd come through from Spirit saying, "That's the colour purple." And she said, if Tony wrote a song and it was going to be a hit, or anybody else wrote a song and it was going to be a hit, Mickey Most would say, "That's the colour purple," which gives me the feeling that Mickey Most was actually spiritual. Sue Christie's very spiritual. And one day she phones me up. They won't mind just me saying this. I'm not giving anything away about them personally or privately. But one day she phoned me up and, "Sarah, it's Sue Christie." I said, "Where are you?" "I'm in London." I said, "Oh, lovely." She said, "Come and see Tony. Tony's playing." I said, "So I can't just go to London. I'm going to pick the kids up from school." And I said, "Where are you sitting?" She said, "Actually, there's no seats left." She was often at the back because he would literally, but his voice, his amazing voice, isn't it? Tony Christie. Mm-hmm. But I had Mum with me because he was guiding me and telling me where to go. Come around under the archway, pull up, you can see me in the window, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Mum, it's Tony Christie." But I went in and my cat had just had kittens. So I went in with his coat on and he was going, I said, "Are you allergic to cats?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Get the coat off me." Imagine if I'd affected his voice.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Just imagine.
Wow.
Going back to your reading, Lauren Badrock said, "Not sure who Jack is, not sure about the heartache, but maybe from past. August, unsure. Her son's birthday is August 8th. And crystals,
random anniversary. Jack's coming in for her. Is she in a relationship? Jack will come in.
Doesn't say so far. She says she's unsure of Jack at the moment.
he might come in. If you're unsure, he'll come in, or she'll remember. Yeah,
she is in a relation.
Anniversary. Oh, she is. The anniversary of something happening in the August is around the birthday, and that's the birthday of the sun. But it'll be the 14th of August.
Okay.
So just wait and see what happens.
Yeah. And
Right.
I think Kelly Shepherd said she can take Jake rather than Jack, and Margaret, Heartache, and August.
Oh, maybe I'm still with Kelly, but I'm not going to just own that. Okay, that's easy to do. I'm still going to stick with Lauren, and there could be synchronicities there. So don't dismiss it.
Oh,
yeah.
and
I never change what I give. I always give, and that's it.
Yeah. I think Lauren did say she's had Margaret come up before. So the name Margaret has come up before.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think there's one more, Kelly.
Kelly said her nephew is due on August the 12th.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for your time. Time always flies by when we're in good conversation.
It does. It's gone dark here as well. I need the lights
does. Yeah. Just want to thank you for joining us and coming on. It's been a real pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure. A lovely couple. And
thank you.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you.
All right. See you soon. Thank you.
And yeah, if anyone wants any readings.
Bye.
We'll catch her up in the studio after.
In the studio.
Yes, if anyone wants any readings, just pop onto Sarah's Facebook page, Sarah May. Pop her a message and she'll get back to you. If anyone didn't get a reading tonight, next Thursday we do have the Psychic and Spiritual segment, which will be readings for the hour. So make sure to join that one. And 11 o'clock this evening, we have the Power Exchange with Todd Bonner, and he has his special guest, Chris Fleming. So make sure you join that one too.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight and commenting. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.